Okay, so my name's Akala. I'm from the Hip Hop Shakespeare Company. And before we get into the philosophy of our work, what that means, what the intention is behind it, I'm going to challenge you guys to a little bit of a pop quiz. And we've done this pop quiz quite a few times. We'll talk about it after we do it. I'm going to simply tell you some quotes. One-line quotes taken either from some of my favorite hip-hop songs or some of my favorite Shakespearean plays or sonnets. And you're going to tell me, by show of hands, whether you think it's hip-hop or Shakespeare. Does that make sense? Okay. So the first one we'll go for is to destroy the beauty from which one came. To destroy the beauty from which one came. If you think that's hip-hop, raise your hands, please. If you think that's Shakespeare, raise your hands, please. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, about 70% towards Shakespeare. It's from a gentleman known as Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z, from a track called Can I Live? We'll go for another one. Maybe it's hatred I spew, maybe it's food for the spirit. Maybe it's hatred I spew, maybe it's food for the spirit. Hip-hop? Shakespeare. Getting overwhelmingly towards the Shakespeare. Interesting. Anyone heard of a gentleman known as Eminem? He is not Shakespeare. That's from a track Eminem did with Jay-Z, actually, called Renegade. We'll go for a couple more. Men would rather use their broken weapons than their bare hands. Men would rather use their broken weapons than their bare hands. Hip-hop? Shakespeare. Pretty even spread with a Shakespearean lean. That one is from Shakespeare. It's from a play known as Othello. We go for, I was not born under a rhyming planet. I was not born under a rhyming planet. Hip-hop? Shakespeare. That one is Shakespeare. So much ado about nothing. We'll go for two more. We'll go for the most benevolent king communicates through your dreams. The most benevolent king communicates through your dreams. Hip-hop? Shakespeare. About 50-50 there. Gentleman known as the RZA, who's the head of the Wu-Tang Clan. We're going to be revisiting the Wu-Tang later. We'll be talking about them a lot as one of the main exponents of hip-hop philosophy, someone or a collective that were a huge influence on me. But we'll revisit that. Last quote of the day. Let's go for Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define. Hip-hop? Shakespeare. Overwhelmingly towards hip-hop on that one. That is hip-hop. That's Wu-Tang again. That's from a gentleman known as Inspector Deck. Interestingly, that quote comes from a single, a track known as Triumph, from the album Wu-Tang Forever. Wu-Tang Forever was the first hip-hop album to go #1 in this country. So that was what made hip-hop crossover, was this kind of lyricism. But we're going to revisit that a little later and revisit the Wu-Tang, as I said. So, as you can see, it wasn't as clear-cut as many of us may have thought. The language used, the subject spoken about, various things make it very, very difficult once the context is taken away, once our perception is taken away, and we have to look at just the raw language of the two art forms. And don't worry, we've done that exercise over 400 times, and as yet no one has got them all right. Not even some of the most senior professors at some of the most respected Shakespearean institutions in the country. I shan't name names. But needless to say, it's challenged a lot of people's perceptions, and we extend from there. We look at some of the other parallels between hip-hop and Shakespeare, some of the other things that they share.